This next series, we're going to introduce the bound. The bound, by definition, again, is a single leg takeoff followed by an opposite single leg landing. These can be performed lateral, linear, rotational, with a vertical or horizontal emphasis. We're going to start with a linear horizontal bound across counter movement, double contact, and then introducing a counter movement to quick stick that is unique just to our bounding category. With these, same rules apply for all of our hopping. The only difference is, instead of landing on the same leg, he'll simply land on the opposite leg. Most people like to start with a bound because it can distribute the load from left leg to right leg rather than having the athlete have to do the eccentric and concentric portion of the motion on the same leg continuously. Let's start with our counter movement. Okay, Jair, I'll have you on your left leg. Nice and strong. On my go call, we'll drop down rapidly, explode out, land on your right leg. Wait for my next call. We'll go again to your left. Set position and go. Down and out, stick. Good. Set position. Down and out, go. Stick and relax. Beautiful. Walk on back. Notice, same rules apply here from a landing perspective. We want to see him max out that vertical height as if to take that shiny belt buckle, point it forward, getting vertical to the sky. He then pulls that chute as he comes down, dropping his hips. Jair hits the ground. Ground doesn't hit him, absorbing nice and strong before we go into our next bound. In this case, I also want you to notice, as Jair brought his knee up, that helps create that vertical force. The bound at the end of the day is one of the best ways to optimize acceleration and absolute speed. Therefore, starting to see this dissociation of my top leg and my bottom leg prepares me for those movement skills. Now we want to take it up a notch and go into our double contact, adding a bit more reactive strength. Let's start on that left leg again. Nice and strong on my go, punching off that ground. And go. Punch. Beautiful. Reset. And go. Punch. Stick. And relax. Let's go and walk on back. Now, as we're doing this motion, whether we call it vertical or horizontal depends on how much emphasis you place with the athlete. In this case, Jair is really emphasizing the vertical portion of the motion. So arguably, we could call this linear vertical. If we took this more into a continuous type bound or even a speed type bound where we were really trying to get horizontal motion, then we could call it linear horizontal. At the end of the day, if you reference back to our presentation, you want to qualify things by vertical or horizontal based on the primary force direction into the ground. Now in this final movement, we want to start to get us closer to moving continuously forward. So we're going to introduce a quick stick. On the quick stick, we can utilize any of our initial initiations to get the movement going. So in our case, we're going to go ahead and utilize a counter movement to start our quick stick. Notice, as Jair comes off his left leg, normal counter movement. But the second he lands on his right, violently off the ground before sticking again on his left, repeat and recycle. Okay, Jair, nice and strong left leg. Start with a counter movement, quick off your right, landing back on your left. And go. Beautiful. Quick stick. One more time now. Reset. Counter movement to start. And go. Good. Quick stick. And walk on back for me. We can see with this movement, it puts a greater demand on the athlete to optimize that ground contact time. There's a higher ground reaction force, and then in doing so, if effective, that fast stretch shortening cycle should allow them to maximize not only vertical or horizontal distance, depending on how you're teaching the movement. Noting that we can go well beyond these initiation types all the way to continuous speed type bounding from this being our starting point. And that is exactly how we want to perform our linear vertical to linear horizontal counter movement, double contact, counter movement quick stick, linear bound. This next movement, we're going to work into the lateral bound. The lateral bound, we can use a diversity of initiation types with either a vertical or horizontal emphasis. For this first one, we're going to start with a counter movement, understanding that our lateral bound series is one of the most important plyometrics that we have an athlete execute in preparing for shuffle and cut progressions within our movement skills. I'm going to start by having Jair on his left leg. Nice and strong on my go. He's going to rapidly lower, again, minimizing that transition time as he explodes out towards me. Noting that this is a horizontal emphasis, therefore he's trying to come as far as he can to his, in this case, right direction. Set position, nice and strong on my go. And go. Down and out. Beautiful. Set position, nice and tall. Great landing. And go. Down and out. And stick. And relax. Within this movement pattern, a couple key factors. Number one, this is a significantly more difficult or demanding landing pattern, and therefore it's critical to get the arms and therefore the center of mass low so we can control that landing. Jair did a great job of that. The other major thing that athletes tend to forget to do, or rather do incorrectly, is kick their lead leg way out in front of them, taking that momentum away from the force that lateral leg should have to produce. Therefore, we want to keep that leg right up under the body the entire time so that landing gear is ready every time they hit the ground. Now we're going to take it up a notch and go again through our double contact, but introduce our quick stick, similar to what we did with that linear bound. Okay, starting with a double contact, quick off the right, sticking right back on the left. Okay, Jair, nice and strong, set up on that left leg, and go. Punch, beautiful, quick, stick. One more time now, nice and strong set. Again, that control tap on the stability, no problem at all, and go. Fast arms, quick, stick, and relax. If an athlete does this effectively, sometimes what we'll see is after the quick, back to the stick, they'll be able to cover a greater distance because higher ground reaction force, shorter ground contact time, greater loading reactively of that stretch shortening cycle. Both that counter movement and that double contact quick stick are exactly how we want to perform our lateral horizontal emphasis bound.